Hi, I'm Bunny Cakes and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the first date book tag. It was originally done by Katesbookdate. I will link her channel and video down below. The first question is the awkward first date, a book where something felt off. It wasn't a bad book, but it lacked that spark for you. I'm going to go with Wendy's Button Box by Stephen King and Richard Chimzar. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a good story and I liked it, but it just it started going where I wanted it to go, and then it was the end of the book. And so it was awkward. Like I want to say I like that book more than I do, but it's just a little off. Um Number two is Cheap First Date, a book that turned out to be less than you expected. I'm going to have to go with It, also by Stephen King, though I think that is almost primarily because I watched the movie with Tim Curry first, and I watched that when I was a child, and Tim Curry is terrifying as Pennywise the Clown, and there was just, the book couldn't stand up to Tim Curry's performance for me. Number three is Well Prepared First Date, Better Than Expected. This is Just My Face, Try Not to Stare by Gabrielle Sidibe. Oh my God, I loved that book. I love the way she wrote it, like she was just sitting down with a good friend catching up. It was amazing. I actually just randomly picked that book up off of the new release shelf at my library. I didn't know that she was even coming out with a book. In fact, I saw the first hype about the book literally the day after I checked it out of the library. I saw an interview with her on the Daily Show or something like that, whatever the Daily Show is now. So yeah, it was an amazing book, and I'm so glad that I just randomly had the gut instinct to pick it up. I really like Gabrielle Sidibe as an actress, and knowing about her more is awesome. And there are so many things that I can relate to with her, and just knowing her story is amazing. She's got an amazing story. Number four is Hot But Dumb, a pretty book with that's not so hot on the inside. Um, I haven't come across anything like that recently. Um, I do have a couple of books on my TBR that I have picked up almost entirely because I was like, oh, pretty cover. So we'll see if that happens. I hope not. Um, Number five is Blind Date, a book you picked up not knowing anything about it. For me, that was Wink Poppy Midnight. I picked it up because the cover was interesting, and I remembered seeing the name somewhere, like on social media, the day I went to the library, but I didn't read anything about it, so I was like, I'm just going to pick this up and see what happens. So that's one of the ones where it's a pretty book, and hopefully it's hot on the inside as well. Number six is Speed Dating, a book you read super fast. Stephen King's The Mist. It's a novella, so it was really short anyway, but I read it in like maybe 3 hours. The book is way better than the movie was, and it's way better than what I've heard the TV show is. I still haven't gotten around to watching the TV show. Number seven is The Rebound, a book you read too soon after a book hangover, and it kind of ruined the book for you. I think that is partially what I experienced with the book Beware by Richard Lehman. I read this really super awesome book called The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney right before I read Beware, and that book was so good. And Beware was a good book, but it was just off. There were parts that I really, really did not like the way the author handled it. And I think maybe I would have had a slightly better opinion of the book if I hadn't read it so close to The Girl Before. Number eight is Overly Enthusiastic Date, a book that you felt was trying too hard, and I'm going to go with Beware by Richard Lehman again for that one, because I think part of what felt so off to me is that the author was really, really trying to make it a thriller and like go there, but like there were parts missing and there were parts that were just weird and off and awkward. Um, the other book I read by Richard Lehman was really good, but Beware was just kind of off. Um, Number 9 is The Perfect First Date, a book that did everything right for you. For this one, I'm going to go with Ready Player One. Oh my God, I love that book. It's got all the 80s references, and there's action, and there's tech, and it's in the future, and it's kind of dystopian. And oh my God, I love that book. And I know it's coming out as a movie soon, and I'm going to be disappointed because there's no feasible way that that movie is going to be able to be like the book universe is, because it would require way too many people cooperating for that to happen. I still hope they do well with it, but I am trying to set myself up for that expectation that there's no way it's going to be as good as the book is, because rights. Another book that I feel is shaping up to be that way is The Hate You Give, and by the time I post this video, I will probably have finished that book because I'm doing a lot of pre-filming. But I think that book is going to be also a perfect first date. The final question is Humiliating First Date, a book that you're embarrassed to admit you liked or embarrassed to see reading in public for whatever reason. I'm not really embarrassed for people to see me read any books. If I like a book, I like a book. Um, I mean, there are books that I read that I probably shouldn't read in public because it would make people uncomfortable. Like when I delve into my erotic horror genre, I'm sure that if people saw some of the covers with me sitting in public reading it, they would be uncomfortable. But like, I'm not embarrassed by it. I just know that that's not publicly acceptable. So yeah, that was the final question, and I'm going to leave this open tagged because, like I said, I'm pre-filming, and I also forgot to check through and see who hadn't done this tag. So, as I've said in several of these tag videos that I filmed, if you see this video and you want to do this tag, please feel free to do this tag. And thank you for watching, and keep reading.